well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watch2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So I wanted to come on here and talk for a minute about the New York Mets and this just awful weekend in Seattle, which ended this 10-game road trip, the odyssey that seemed to never end, and where the team is going forward. Now, they go to Seattle after playing in Anaheim, St. Louis, and Colorado. They go to that just lovely city in Washington, lose 3 straight games, score a grand total of 1 run in 27 innings. Now, the Seattle pitching staff is good, don't get me wrong, but they weren't exactly throwing Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson out there in their prime, okay? But still, the Mets remain 1/2 game back of the Atlanta Braves for the 3rd wild card. They are 4 games behind both the Diamondbacks and the Padres. But more importantly than that, both the St. Louis Cardinals and San Francisco Giants remain 1 game behind the Mets. So the Mets can't be looking ahead. They also need to be looking over their shoulder at what's coming up from behind them. So there are 44 games to go in the Mets regular season, and Fangraphs has them at a 27% chance of making the playoffs. And I did something on Sunday night and Monday that I shouldn't have done. I went on social media, and it was amazing to see. I guess it wasn't amazing. I shouldn't be surprised. I've been a Mets fan for 4 decades now, but so many fans talking about how this is not a playoff team at the end of the day. They're not a real team anymore. They blew an opportunity to take the lead in the wild card race. Well, look at it this way. The Braves blew a chance to stretch the wild card lead out. This is a team that got beat up by the Colorado Rockies 2 out of 3. A team that gave up 7 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning on Sunday. You got to be kidding me. I mean, you know, Seattle may not be the best team in baseball, but at least they have some pitching on that staff. All right, now with that in mind, let's rip a few people on this Mets team because they deserve it. Luisseverino. How about this guy? His last 3 starts, he's got an ERA of 9.69. He's making Tyler McGill look like Doc Gooden in his prime. But he's allowed 5 home runs in 13 innings. Opponents have an OPS against him of 1.124. That is downright alarming. But the thing with Severino, he has pitched 133 innings this year. That's the most he's pitched since 2018. You have to wonder if he's just going through a dead arm period or how much he has left. I would not be surprised to have maybe a phony IL stint for Severino, you know, if he has another bad start his next time out. And I try to be fair to adamottavino. I really did. You know, he had 7 straight scoreless appearances. And these last 2 times out, he got absolutely lit up. He now has an ERA of 4.78. His whip, somehow 1.29. I thought it'd be worse. But I'll tell you what, at this point, once Dedniel Nunez or Sean Reed Foley are ready to go, Ottavino's got to go at this point. He is just too flammable and too unreliable at this point. But the biggest concern here right now really is the offense. If you go back to the All-Star break, the Mets have a team average of 108, a 108 batting average with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. That is 30th in Major League Baseball. Brandon Nimmo, J.D. Martinez, and Pete Alonso have done basically nothing since that time, aside from Alonso's 2 home run game in Colorado a couple of days ago. Francisco Alvarez has done very, very little. I still wonder if he ever really recovered from that thumb injury, which sidelined him for 2 months of the season. Francisco Lindor has been the only player really showing up day to day, but, you know, he can't carry a ball club by himself. No one player can. And now you have injury issues. Markvientos has an ankle issue. He's day-to-day. And I've been saying this for a while. He cannot be playing defense every day. He just doesn't have the range you want. I still think brettbaty should be back in the major leagues. Let Ben Gamel go. You know, and then if you platoon Beatty and Vientos, just do that. And if Martinez is slumping, you could even give Vientos a day or 2 at DH. You could do that as well. So I would do that. I bring Beatty back up. I put Jeff McNeil in the outfield for the rest of the season. And also think about some players are coming back. You know, we mentioned a few pitchers, but Starling Marte is coming back from his knee bone bruise. He's been playing minor league games, and he should be back with the major league team no later than this weekend. You know, and I think looking at the way the Mets offense has been playing over the last couple of weeks since the All-Star break, you know, Starling Marte, there's a good contingent of Met fans that do not like him, talking about that he's a defensive liability. But you know what? when he plays, and that's the operative phrase, when he plays, he adds a combination of speed and power that, it's pretty hard to find. Marte does that. You go back to 2022, the Mets were leading that division race for most of the year, but it was once Marte went down, I believe in late August, early September, the offense was never the same again. And I realize his defense is shaky, but the Mets are at their best lineup when number 6 is in the lineup. So this team has to find that extra gear in this lineup. The pitching is decent enough, okay? They don't have elite pitching. They don't have a lot of, top level, pitchers at this point, but you have enough pitching in here where you can still be in the game most nights. It's about the hitting. We saw the streak that they went on in June when that offense could not be stopped at the time. But despite this brutal weekend in Seattle, we got to keep an overall perspective. Again, 44 games to go, half a game back, a record of 61-57. Now, I'd like to think at the end of that 10-game road trip, they were just drained. They had to get back home. We'll find out because their next 6 games are at home against Oakland and a Miami team that has been an absolute pain in the ass. And of those 6 games, you got to have 4 minimum. And even then, that would be a begrudging first 6 games. I really want 5. And then you've got 10 in a row. 3 at home against Baltimore before you go out for 7 against San Diego and Arizona, who are dominating that wild card race. I'm not even saying that those games are for the standings. You just don't want the season to get away from you at this point. But every opportunity for the New York Mets is right in front of them. And again, to the Met fan who's just very overreactive and just kills the team at any given loss or any given day, you cannot look at baseball the same way you do football. This game goes in streaks. It just goes over and over again, whereas in football, one loss can derail a season, no doubt about it. So again, 44 games to go. The final chapter of this season is a long way from being written. Let's see what happens. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to check me out Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. for the Wednesday night live show. Everybody have a great day, and I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.